This lecture highlights topics from chapters 4 and 5. The first topic are the 3 stages in labor. Stage 1 is dilation. The cervix needs to dilate to 10 centimeters. Once the cervix is dilated to 10 centimeters, then the woman can start pushing. Once the infant is delivered, then stage 3 is the delivery of the placenta. Once the newborn is out of the chute, the first test is called an APGAR test, or the APGAR scale. There's a nice little acronym here. APGAR stands for appearance, pulse, grimace, activity, and respiration, and they quickly assess the health of an infant. The appearance: what color is the skin? Pulse: how strong is the pulse? Grimace: is there facial and muscle tone in the face? Activity: is there movement in the arms and legs? And is the infant breathing, and how strong is the breathing? The APGAR test rates from a 0, which is the lowest, to 1 or 2 on each of these different issues. The most you can get is a 10. The medical staff will do this test right at the beginning, right once the infant is born, and then do immediate intervention as necessary, and then they'll check again in a few minutes to make sure the infant continues to keep developing and no other medical issues have arisen in the last few minutes. They also test for reflexes. Reflexes tell the medical staff how the infant's brain is developing. The 2 most important ones for us right here are rooting and sucking. Rooting is when you touch the infant's cheek and they turn in the direction. The sucking reflex is when you touch an infant's lips and they immediately begin sucking. It can be a bottle, it can be a pacifier, it can be a breast, a nipple. These 2 are essential for feeding skills. This video is a very quick overview. It's about 4 minutes on reflexes in the first few months of life, and you'll see a couple different age from newborns to a little bit older. It's definitely worth your time to click on that link and watch it. Sleep characteristics. Infants sleep a lot, and there's reason that there's a lot of work going on why they sleep. There's 2 different types of sleep. There's NREM or non-REM. Non-REM stands for non-rapid eye movement, and it lasts for about 8 to 9 hours. And REM, which is rapid eye movement, lasts also for about 8 to 9 hours. Rapid eye movement is one of the key areas, and it reflects quality of sleep. And even though growth hormone is secreted, which is a hormone, is secreted throughout the day, it's in REM sleep when it's most concentrated. So lots of secretion in REM sleep, and that's why infants grow so rapidly. Infants who have trouble sleeping don't grow as rapidly. SIDS, sudden infant death syndrome. This is an unfortunate cause of death for a percentage of newborns, and it's the leading cause of death in the first 12 months. It peaks between 2 and 4 months. And for some unknown reason, SIDS rates are higher for infants in low SES families, socioeconomic status families. Fortunately, there are definite ways to reduce SIDS. One way is for the mother to stop smoking. There should also be no smoking in the house. The other is put babies to sleep on their back. It's called the Back to Sleep campaign. And unless you're told to so by a pediatrician, all infants should be sleeping on their backs. There should be no toys or soft bedding. Use of a pacifier reduces SIDS, and sleeping on a firm surface also reduces SIDS. How do you soothe a crying baby? Well, there's a lot of walking, rocking, gentle massage, swaddling, pacifiers, soothing sounds, stroller rides, car rides, infant massage. Some parents will let their infants cry for a short amount of time. They think it helps develop some kind of resilience. It's hard to spoil an infant under the age of 6 months. There is also a problem with some infants called colic, C-O-L-I-C. Colic is when infants can cry for hours at a time. Seems to be related to digestion, although no one exactly knows. The rest of chapter 4 talks about senses, what senses are developed in a newborn and at birth. So, sense of touch at birth. They do have responses to touch on the mouth, palms, soles, and genitals especially. They are sensitive to pain, but they're not sensitive to pain in the sense that we are. Their nervous system is still very immature. However, they should use anesthetics and pacifiers and gentle holding for all kinds of medical procedures. Sense of smell at birth. At birth, newborns prefer the smell of their mother, and they've done studies where they've used washcloth rags, shirts, towels, anything with the mother smell they prefer over another person's smell. And that is really within the first 24 hours they develop that preference. Sense of hearing, it's well developed at birth. They can detect any sound of any human language in the first 6 months, so they have a very keen sense of hearing. However, they do prefer that high-pitched parentese, "Oh, you're so cute" voice, because it helps them focus that with all the sounds in their environment. Oh, that they're talking to me now. Sense of vision at birth. It's approximately 1 to 2 feet. After that, it's fairly blurred. They prefer human faces. They prefer high contrast objects. It's the least developed sense at birth. Here's what they do prefer. They prefer right side up faces instead of upside down faces. They prefer simple face-like structures instead of non-face-like structures. They prefer faces that look like faces instead of a scrambled face. They don't see that well, so here's what they can see. This is a checkerboard with crisp edges, but they're a little bit blurred. So what they see is a little bit blurry, not quite as sharp, but they like high contrast objects. If it's the detail too fine, then it all blurs together. Like this fine checkerboard looks gray to newborns. This newborn, they're testing the newborn's vision, and this is the front of the brain, this is the back, and this is the occipital lobe, so showing that the occipital lobe is working and processing lights. This is another way they test newborns, is they put this electrode cap, it doesn't hurt them at all, on newborns, and then they'll play voices or sounds, and they'll see which side of the infant's brain lights up, and it shows, this particular study showed that newborns preferred the mother's voice over a female voice. So let's stop here at the end of chapter 4 and then click on the next video for chapter 5.